Hi there. I wanted to give some background on the launch auction that I'm auctioning off. Uh, we're just looking at the eBay page, which doesn't go live for another couple of days. And unfortunately, there's no way to sort of preview the page before it goes live. So this is just some background. This is the page that I can see because I'm open on the seller account. And we're starting the bidding at 1 cent. So there's no minimum. And the background to this is that obviously some time ago uh, I bid on and successfully won with my friend Mohnish Pabrai a charity lunch with Warren Buffett, and it really did change my life in an extraordinary way. But then Mohnish, who's cloner extraordinaire, started auctioning lunch off with himself, and I started hearing stories about the extraordinary people that he met through his lunch, and I've actually met some of the people that he's had lunch with, and we realized, and I realized that Warren Buffett is so extraordinarily practically brilliant in that, on the one hand, he was raising money for a charity that he cared for, but on the other hand, he was doing something very interesting for himself, was that he was allowing people who are not in his immediate circle to access him and spend quality time with him. And the story of the Buffett lunch is that while some people just come for the lunch and nothing else comes of it, some people actually become good friends or enter into Warren Buffett's social circle in one way or another. In the case of Mohnish and me, Mohnish now has a very nice friendship with just not just with Charlie Munger, but with the Charlie Munger clan. And for a period of about 10 years, Mohnish and I were invited to a Sunday brunch that happened after the Berkshire meeting, which was just extraordinary. So it was the gift that kept giving, and um, I realized after Mohnish realized that it was really a smart thing to do oneself. So that is the background for doing it. In my case, the first time I did it, it was to benefit Dakshana Foundation. And now the second time I did it, and this time the charity launch will benefit an organization called UN Watch, United Nations Watch, which is a human rights organization on whose board I sit. It's led by somebody called Hillel Neuer, and it seeks to hold the United Nations Human Rights Council to its original charter. So there's the lunch. There's some detail, basically some of the stuff that I've said. There are some testimonies from the previous winners of the lunch, both of whom have become part of my circle. They were in both cases. I mean, in the case of Sanjeet, I was happy to be able to introduce him to Mohnish. He got to meet Mohnish recently, and in the case of Edgar, I've learned an extraordinary amount from him, from the business that he runs, and it's been really fun, actually. The story of that lunch was that it happened in Chicago, and I was supposed to meet him for lunch, but did not realize. I thought it was dinner time because there was a snafu on my diary. I'd just flown in from Zurich. So we ended up having lunch, which was short, and then we went for dinner as well. And he's really a special guy. So I am doing this in part to benefit UN Watch, which I'm really, really happy to do, but in part because I'm really curious to see who wins the auction and excited to meet with them. In the case of Edgar, it took a while because shortly after he won, we went into COVID and lockdown. But what we did was we did a Zoom call so that he got to meet me and knew that I wasn't running away from him and that I was going to meet the obligation to meet with him. And then we finally met just before the Berkshire Hathaway meeting. And he also came to the Berkshire meeting. So that's the background to the launch. I hope that you bid. UN Watch is an extraordinary cause. I hope that we'll have links up to what the work of UN Watch. So please bid. And if you're the winning bidder, I look forward to meeting you. Thanks.